As MeidasTouch Network hit 3 million subscribers, I was also watching Fox implode last night. Take a look at this clip as Jesse Waters tried to attack Vice President Kamala Harris to help out Donald Trump, and then quite literally less than an hour later, Fox had to admit that its own poll, the Fox poll, shows Vice President Kamala Harris leading in some of the key states. Play this clip.
So this was a terrible week. She got no bounce out of the convention.
That's not true.
She's no bounce.
She got a 4-point bounce, and
no
she's
bounce.
in Georgia today campaigning.
Okay, she got no bounce, Jessica.
No bounce.
Look at the polls. Okay. And she's now down in all the battleground
That's
states.
Not true.
Real clear, check it out.
Okay.
Right now, in the break, I'll prove you wrong.
Okay.
Yes. Good evening. Welcome to Washington. I'm Brett Baer. With fewer than 70 days until the presidential election, we are releasing new Fox polls from key Sun Belt states, and it's anyone's ball game, as you can see right here. Former President Donald Trump holds a 1-point lead in North Carolina, 50-49. But Vice President Kamala Harris, is leading by 1 in Arizona, 50-49, by 2 in Nevada and Georgia, 50-48 in each of those states. All of these numbers, obviously, within the margin of error here. These surveys, we should point out, were conducted after both the Democratic National Convention and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. dropping out.
Yeah, take a look at the Fox poll. Vice President Kamala Harris up in Arizona. She's up in Georgia. She's up in Nevada. And of course, she's up in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. So Jesse Waters had to eat his words. No, he doesn't. He's actually Jesse Waters. He'll just go and continue to lie. Take a look at this. Here, Jesse Waters, who interviewed Donald Trump and J.D. Vance together. Here he attacks Vice President Kamala Harris for doing an interview with Governor Walz on CNN. Play this clip.
Her handlers don't even trust her to survive a softball CNN interview. So Coach Walz is going to chaperone tomorrow night at 9. Mr. President, Senator, I don't know what we have to talk about. It's been pretty boring.
Well, Jeanine Pirro doesn't even know who Vice President Kamala Harris's running mate is. She thinks it's J.D. Vance, or perhaps she's wishing it was J.D. Vance and not the very popular Governor Walz, who's got the top popularity of any VP in recent history, and J.D. Vance has the least net favorability of any VP ever. Here, watch this.
Democrats are so upset to tether Kamala to Biden, then why, if the vice president is so irrelevant, is she bringing Vance to her first interview? Bringing Walz to her first interview.
I was like, I really hope she's not sitting down with J.D. Vance
bringing Walz. Yeah.
And so we put together at the MeidasTouch Network, just take a look at what Jesse Waters, who was Tucker Carlson's replacement, has been saying just over the past 48 hours. I know if you've been following our coverage, you may see these clips, but this is what the Fox viewership is getting. How pathetic is this? Play it.
This is where the president has his most impact. You have a lot of room to maneuver there as commander-in-chief. We don't know who she is. We don't know what she believes. She's going to get paralyzed in the Situation Room while the generals have their way with her. Right now,
Jesse Waters. Jesse, I don't like that.
Figuratively, again.
Take it back.
Have their way with her. Control her. Not in a sexual way.
Yeah, and here Jesse Waters again is she doesn't have a winning personality, whatever that means. Play this clip.
Victor Davis Hanson, she doesn't have a winning personality. That's understood. She doesn't like to get her hands dirty. Doesn't really like policy, doesn't understand it, kind of just wings it. And do you think that they will be able to make an excuse when she loses? I think she's going to lose. I can see the peak happening right now. When she loses, what will the excuse be?
Let me give you a perfect case study in Fox right here. Governor Walz was delivering that incredible speech you saw us cover here at the MeidasTouch Network about small government that would actually resonate with their audience on Fox. They panic that Governor Walz is giving them the truth, is telling their people, here's what's up, here's actually what the Democratic platform is. But that doesn't fit with what Fox is pushing. So they cut away and then they go and talk about how bad the speech was, rather than letting the speech speak for itself. Play the clip.
Some of you in here, and I'm going to say this because I know we're bipartisan, some of the gray hairs in here, I know what you're thinking, and I remember it too because it's my family. When Republicans used to talk about freedom, they meant it. They meant it. Not anymore. These guys over there, they want government to have the freedom to invade every corner of your life, from our union halls to our kids' schools, even our doctor's office. Vice President and I, we got a little bit different vision of this. We believe that you, not politicians, should be made free to make your own health care choices. We believe that workers deserve to collectively bargain for fair wages, safe working conditions, good health care, and secure retirement. No interference from government.
To Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota. He's also the vice presidential nominee for the Democratic ticket. He's speaking to the firefighters union in Boston, Massachusetts. About 350,000 members, Brett, and speaking there enthusiastically without notes, and they really want to get this union vote. I don't know, though, Brett, if the rank and file would agree with him.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that this is a pitch, a speech designed specifically for the union. A lot of talk about collective bargaining, a lot of talk about, issues that those union members talk about in those halls.
So did you know that over 2 billion plastic razors end up in U.S. landfills each year? It's a staggering number, I know, and it's just one of the many reasons why we need to rethink our shaving habits. Henson Shaving is leading the charge in this revolution. Let's join it together. Their razors are made of aluminum with no plastic in sight, not even in the packaging. And get this, they work with standard dual-edged blades that cost less than 10 cents each. Once you have a Henson razor, you're looking at just $3 to $5 per year for blade replacements. It's a win for your wallet and a win for the environment. It's time to say no to subscriptions and yes to a razor that will last you a lifetime. So visit hensonshaving.com/Meidas and pick the razor for you and use the code Meidas, MEIDAS, and you'll get 2 years worth of blades free with your razor. Just make sure to add them to your cart. That's 100 free blades when you head to hensonshaving.com/Meidas and use that code Meidas. And by the way, when I watch other corporate media as well, even when I'm watching like CNN and sometimes MSNBC, they like have people saying what's happening versus like, can you just show the clips and show it live so we can watch it? You saw that we covered Governor Walz's speech and devoted a lot of attention to it as well. Let me show you this on Fox. This guy is actually a member of Congress, believe it or not. Play this clip.
Also couldn't find the January 6th pipe bomber, Jesse. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't believe their narrative about the January 6th pipe bomber for a second. And Dan Bongino told myself and several other members of Congress just this week in Washington, D.C., that when this story breaks about the January 6th pipe bomber, what really happened, it's going to be the biggest scandal in Washington, D.C.'s history.
All right, well, we'll look forward to...
I'll give a hat tip here to Ari Melber, who, I thought Ari Melber did not do a good job covering the Trump criminal trials. But even though this is not on Fox, I want to show you what happens when someone like Corey Lewandowski, who's now running Donald Trump's campaign, shows up on a show like Ari Melber's. Here, play this clip.
In one state may not happen in a different.
Kansas went against Trump, went against your campaign. Trump has been hiding on what he's going to do on the Florida state rule, which is up, and he lives there. Are we going to get a position from him on that?
Look, if the president wants to weigh in, I'm sure he'll weigh in at the ballot box like every American gets the opportunity to do. I think
such a great moment right there. Here's Lindsey Graham just randomly cursing on Fox. Play this clip.
People in Arizona, do you really believe she's going to build a wall? That's just bullshit.
And just to kind of show you what it is that I guess, it resonates with Fox. I mean, because they're all on kind of all promoting Trump all the time. I mean, just take a look right here at these Trump emails yesterday. I showed them, over and over again to you. But like, here are the Trump emails, saying that Zuckerberg conspired to overthrow the 2020 election. Dude, it's 2024. You think Hunter Biden dick pics that's what was going to win 2020 for you? And you were in office. Zuckerberg conspired with you to not show Hunter Biden dick pics? Like, what in the world are you even talking about here? But then just post after post, Donald Trump, made these horrific posts about Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Barack Obama. I've showed you these posts before, and that's actually what should be covered, on Fox and all the news networks, but I suppose good luck with that. But anyway, I'll show you this here, though. This is on Newsmax. You have Christine Nome saying the following, who kills her dogs. They have her on Newsmax to say this. Play the clip.
I mean, it's insulting. It really is. So I hope that everybody recognizes that Tim is there to help prop her up. And if it gets awkward or she starts giggling or looking, crazy, that he's going to interrupt and take over. And then they're going to go back and stop the tape and maybe retape that question to make sure that she looks fantastic. This has been something that they have been planning ever since, probably for months. And they know what their game is. I just hope the American people are strong enough and verbal enough and vote enough to call them out on it.
And then let me just show you this. This is a moment that Fox should be covering. Here's what Vice President Kamala Harris said at a school in Georgia. Play this clip.
And in doing that, you are also role models, right? Welcome to the role model club. And being a role model, right, means that there are going to be members of your family, people who live in your neighborhood, your classmates who watch you, to see, oh, that's how it's done. And in that way, you are showing what hard work can achieve, what discipline can achieve, what teamwork can achieve. And that's the stuff of great leadership. All of you. And so we wanted to come by to remind you that our nation is counting on you. We're so proud of you. Everything you have achieved. And I will tell you, I was in band when I was your age. So I know a little bit about, coach knows about the players, right? And all that you all are doing, it requires a whole lot of rehearsal, a whole lot of practice, long hours, right? Sometimes.
And then so you remember Jesse Waters' mom, who's a big MeidasTouch fan. This is what she warned Jesse Waters when he took that job. Play this clip.
We have a very special guest on the line, a Democrat, my mom. Mom?
Hello,
how have
you?
Jesse. Hello there, Mom. How have you enjoyed the show so far?
I have enjoyed the show. I want to say congratulations, Honey Bun. We are so proud of you and your accomplishments, and you've worked so hard. Now let's aim to have you keep your job. And to that end, I do have some suggestions.
Okay.
Do not tumble into any conspiracy rabbit holes. We do not want to lose you, and we want no lawsuits.
Okay.
In keeping, I have a list here. In keeping with the Hippocratic Oath, do no harm. We need you to be kind and respectful. You yourself mentioned that humble is a stretch, so I get that. Use your voice responsibly to promote conversation that maintains a narrative thread. There really has been enough Biden bashing, and the laptop is old. Perhaps you could suggest that your people take less interest, for example, in other people's bodies, and talk about that.
Well, anyway, thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.